Alright guys, today I'm going to show you guys how to do the highly requested pedal stopper replacement. So these are the stoppers that keep their sensors around your pedals that hit these stoppers and tell the car when the clutch is engaged, and also for the clutch pedal, and also when the brake pedal is or isn't engaged. And if these break, obviously the clutch one will mean that you cannot start your car, and the brake one will mean that it'll leave your third brake light on as a warning to you. Your brakes will still work, but it might drain your battery with your brake lights on. A lot of people might not notice. You might just find like little plastic bits of what happens is this is hard plastic, and over time they dry out and crack, and then they end up just on your floorboard. And so people find plastic bits. Some of them are blue color, some of them are like different colors. So if you find plastic bits, this is probably the culprit, either your clutch or brake pedal. Anyway, I'll put the part numbers in the description and on screen right now. These are aftermarket. I feel like you probably don't need OEM. Aftermarket's cheap enough and available. I just always keep them in my car. But I'm going to show you guys how to do this right now. So what you will need is, what I recommend is a flashlight and also a headlamp. This is a wearable headlamp because it's a little cramped inside. And so we did remove the seat. So I highly recommend removing the seat. So if you do need to do only the brake pedal, which is the middle pedal, it's easy to access. You probably do not need to take out your seat, depending on how big you are. The clutch pedal is the one with two stoppers, and those are deep up inside the dashboard. I highly recommend removing the seat because it's only 4 bolts and a plastic clip if you have OEM seats. So it seems like a lot to do, but it's not. Trust me, it'll save you a lot of time. You're going to be able to sit in there. If you look at the floor pan, it's pretty flat. You can put some blankets down here, some moving blankets or something like that to pad it back for you, but basically you're going to be on your back with your head up into the dashboard. So let's take a look. Okay, so let me show you guys where they're located first of all. So let's see, this is the middle pedal right here, and the stopper is basically where that blue area is. Looks like there used to be a blue pedal stopper in this one, and it's gone. There's a hole there, so that hole is where you put the new pedal stopper. So that one's pretty easy to access. The clutch one, however, you can see here that the owner put a bolt in here, which is a common modification. So that bolt is in place of the pedal stopper, and there's also one up higher. So I think they both have a pedal stopper. We'll have to find out, but to get to the one higher, we're gonna have to take off this plastic cover right here, which is held on by some Phillips head screws on the 2 front corners. So pretty easy to take off. We'll take those off right now and unplug this light, and then we'll have better access to see what's going on. All right, so once you get the 2 Phillips bolts out of the 2 front ends, there's 2 rubber pegs in the back, or 2 pegs that stick into the back. You just pull this way, and then we have these 2 clips right here that you just unplug. Okay, apologies for how this is going to be filmed. It's very tight underneath the dashboard, as you can imagine. So I'm going to show you guys how to replace the clutch or the brake pedal stopper and the clutch pedal stopper, the lower ones right here. But there is also an upper stopper way up in here. So let's see if I can show you guys. All right, sorry everyone, I'm not going to be able to show you exactly where the pedal stopper is. If you can see that yellow plug on the other side of a metal plate that plug is mounted to, is where the upper pedal stopper is. So I can see it, but it's hard for you to see it. It's way deep up in there. And if you move the pedal, you'll be able to see it. But anyway, it's really hard to get to. So I wouldn't be able to show you how to do that one. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure how to do it without taking out the pedals. I think you might have to take out the pedals for that one. Luckily, I don't have to do that one right now for my buddy. But I think you would probably have to unbolt the pedal box and take out this cotter pin right here. This cotter pin is connected to the rod that goes through the firewall. take out that cotter pin, and then it'll separate the rod from the pedal box, and then you would just unplug these pedals, and then, or these plugs. Well, actually, you don't need to unplug those plugs. Actually, yeah, you do, because the bracket, I think these are mounted to, I think this is mounted to the whole pedal box right here. And then you'd be able to remove the pedals. Looks like there are a couple of 12mm bolts or nuts on the firewall, and maybe one 10mm up there. If you can see that right next to that yellow plug, there's like a 10mm bolt sticking upwards. I think you'd need to take that one out also to get to the pedal box. But that's probably the way I can see doing it. Again, luckily I don't have to do that, but let me show you how to do these other ones. Okay, so with one hand pushing the pedal out of the way, you can take your other hand with the stopper, set it into place, and it's very hard to push in with your bare fingers with just your own hand pressure. So what I do is set it in place like that, and I pull back on the pedal to set it and to force it into place like that. So now you can see that the gap is taken up. Some of them will snap in easier than others. Alright, so I took a little bit of force to set it into place. You do want to be very careful that you don't mess up the sensor, so you don't want to like slam it. But use some force. You don't want to break that little plastic plunger either. But so that's why I slowly let it set. And once it touches the threaded part of this sensor, that part is very sturdy because it's tightened in with this nut. Lock nut, and then you'll force it in place and you'll be good to go. So let's do the same thing for the brake pedal. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing for the clutch pedal. So you just want to push it in, push one side with your hand, try to set this one in place. Okay, hopefully that was caught on camera. So now that it's set in place, I'm just going to pull back on the pedal, set the stopper, and it should be good to go. All right, now you just have to reverse the operation and push these two plastic pegs into place. There's two holes towards the pedals. Plug in the light and whatever this other thing is, and put in the two Phillips screws, and then you're done. And then go ahead and put your seat back in, of course, if you took that out. But that'll do it for this video. Sorry, the visuals weren't much very good, but it's very hard to film. It's dark and it's very cramped. So hopefully that helped you guys out in doing this on your own. Highly recommend taking the seat out again if you have to, in order to get yourself more room. The 5 minutes it takes to take out the seat is worth it, because this job is very difficult to do on your back with the seat in place. And you'll regret not taking your seat out probably. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.